why I absolutely hate nationwide wholesaling and why you should go hyper local instead. If this is your first time listening to this podcast or you're watching on YouTube and you have not been to our site, make sure you head on over to nextlevelwholesaling.com, and there you can download a copy of the Next Level Wholesaling Assessment. It's going to take you like 5 minutes. It's going to rate you in the 4 core areas of your wholesaling business. And once you take this thing, it's going to become abundantly clear on your very next step that you need to take to absolutely explode your wholesaling business, to make your bank account go through the roof and increase your free time by 10x. That I can promise you. So go to nextlevelwholesaling.com. So trigger warning, man, today's topic is going to be controversial. And I got to tell you that nationwide wholesaling is pretty hot. And for some reason, it's been a fad on YouTube and podcast, and people think for some reason that it's easier. And I can tell you that through my experience as an influencer, as a coach, as a leader in the space, it's just not the case. One of the things that I do with my joint venture partners and clients is I kind of help them tear apart their books and take a look at their profit, see how many hours they're working inside their business, and really tell themselves the hard truth. And most of the time I can tell you that nationwide wholesalers really, really struggle. Case in point, I just got off the phone with one of my joint venture partners, and he used to be hyper local and had one of his best years in business before he decided to go nationwide, right? And for him, it was good. He was doing between, I think, $500,000 and $800,000 a year with a very, very healthy profit margin. Anyway, he got distracted, went nationwide, and I talked to him. And at the beginning of his journey, after I spoke to him, you know, he was very, very positive about going nationwide and how he was going to get more deals and more opportunity, and it was going to be easier to get deals in other markets, and you know, he was going to find these secret opportunities. And needless to say, about a year later, we spoke, and he had done about $250,000 compared to his $500,000 to $750,000 where it was local. And it was interesting because I had asked him, I said, well, why do you want to go nationwide? You know, like, what's the, you know, the big deal? And he's like, well, I did these 2 big deals in this one market in the Northeast. And I just, you know, I feel like there's an opportunity there. And so this is the kicker. And I really want you to kind of peel this back, because I think this is the case for a lot of us. Because when I was working with him in his hyper local market, he had locked up 2 deals for $40,000. And I said, well, how big were the deals in your other market? You know, the new one. And they were about the same. Meanwhile, he had to, you know, do these nationwide wholesaling campaigns, deal with something deal with new vendors every single time, try to sell to all new buyers. And I could tell you, it's a colossal crap show. So let me get into the specifics. Long story short, after we ripped apart his numbers, he decided he was going to go back to hyper local. But after I share that story with you, I want to tell you why I like local wholesaling more than nationwide in detail here, right? And the 3 things that I want for you, if you're a listener of my podcast or you're watching me on YouTube, is the first thing that I want you to have a highly profitable business, right? That is very, very, very important, okay, right? If you don't have profitability, you pretty much can't do anything. And when I mean profitability, your wholesaling business should be operating above a 35 to 40% profit margin, okay? You should be like 35% minimum. And if you're not, man, you got to take a close look, because this is an amazing business. And the point of the business is profit. It's not size, right? It's not the number of deals. That is totally irrelevant. It's vanity. I want you to have an MBA, okay? And that's not a degree. I'm talking about a massive bank account. So you got to have big time profitability. The second thing that I want from you is the ability to automate, okay? And the ability to automate means that you can hire people and delegate, and you can start to free up your time so that you could do more, bigger deals, but also not be a slave to the business, right? That's very, very, very important. And the third thing is that I want you to build something that lasts, right? I want you to have a reputation in your market. I want deals just to flow to you. Yes, paid marketing is awesome. I love, love, love paid marketing. I love to spend $1 and get 5 back, and I'm going to teach you how to do that too. But I also like to build reputation where deals come to me absolutely free because of my reputation and the media that I own in my local market. I got to tell you, one of our best sources of deals, which I talk about, is working with local influencers in our market. And I'm going to talk continually more about this over the next few weeks. But we did last year $400,000 to $500,000 in just one market of ours working with local influencers. This year, we're probably going to do about $500,000 and just in that same market, and that is just one market. And I got to tell you, the return on investment of that is absolutely insane. And if we were national, it would be much more difficult to do because it's all based on hyper-local with the local influencers who promote us. But getting a little distracted here. Those three things are very, very, very important. It helps build a very, very, very strong business where your business is going to throw off cash month after month after month. And I have found that nationwide wholesaling really is contrary to that, right? It runs against that. First thing is I find that like 40 to 50% of the deals that people lock up virtually in other markets where they don't know the market need to be canceled. They can't find a buyer or renegotiate to a level that you have to pretty much ditch those deals. And I got to tell you, one of the things that I've seen is there's nothing more demoralizing than locking up a deal, opening up escrow, marketing it, and then it not selling. It's like a soul crusher. And so I hate that. And if you, as an entrepreneur, you may be able to handle that, sure. Your salespeople do not like that. Your team does not like that. So anyone in your team's working on commission and you're losing 50% of your deals, man, you're going to wear them out and they're going to quit. That absolutely sucks. As a matter of fact, my joint venture partner that I had spoke to, his guy pretty much just quit or he had to fire him. Combination of the both, same thing. Nobody really hires a really, really good salesperson. So my guess is it was kind of a fire quit situation. The second thing, though, is the profitability, right? It's not about the number of deals that you do, and it's not about your gross revenue. It's about your net revenue. And if you are not working those, free sources or influencer sources, you're not really boosting up those numbers, right? Sometimes you're going to get stuck with a marketing channel that you're only earning like 2 to 3 times on, which is not, I don't like that, right? But I'm willing to deal with that if I have other stuff that's giving me like 100x. So for example, I want to see all my marketing sources doing 5 times my marketing minimum. And so the hyperlocal is going to give you that return on your investment. But the second part, and this is really, really important, is scaling, automating, working with people. The key to scaling and automating and getting out of your business is to repeat a process and do that over and over and over and over and over again. And so when you open a deal, it can go to the same real estate agent who markets it the same way, who will send it out to your buyers list, do the same process, collect their earnest money, close the deal, get the check, wire into the same bank account. And if you need to get inspection, same inspector, right? If you need to clean the place, same cleaner, and be able to do that over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And that's the beauty of a system, right? How many times do you walk into Subway or maybe a Jersey Mike's and they're making that same sandwich like over and over and over and over and over again? The owner of that Jersey Mike's or Subway, he ain't there washing the sandwich. You know why? It's the same sandwich. And if you got to make a different sandwich every single time, oh man, that's rough. And so I don't like that. I like automation. I like a business that works without me. That's very, very, very important. And the third thing is you got to build your local brand. People should know who you are. They should know who your company is. You should be involved in the local community. You should be getting deals from SEO. You should be working with local influencers. If people have a house to sell in your local market, they should be calling your company. There's absolutely no excuse. And I got to tell you, if I talk to nationwide wholesalers, I've only met like 1 or 2 people who are actually successful doing this. Now, I know there are a few, but they are few and far between. Few and far between. Out of my successful clients, and I'm talking people who are netting like $500,000 or more, netting $500,000 or more, they are all hyper local. They are laser focused. They don't look at nationwide wholesaling and they're like, oh, I'm going to do 100 million next week. No, right? Let's net $500,000 this year. Let's net $1 million the next year in my local market. I think the psychology around this is you think that what's in your backyard is not enough, that you can't go big in your market. I tell you what, let all your competition think that. Let them spread themselves completely thin, run themselves ragged, be a jack of all markets, master of none, right? While you collect net profit of $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, even more. You know, I've got a really, really, really good friend who worked one market pretty much his entire career, and he is worth approximately $65 million. That's an approximation. And this is from doing deals in his market with just single family homes. He didn't get distracted. He put his blinders on and just went for it. So my goal for you is to let that be you. All right. Forget the nationwide wholesaling. It's complete horse crap. Sure, I'm sure somebody's doing it successfully, but very, very, very few people are. If you want to be good, if you want a system that works, listen to this podcast. I'm telling you, listen to more episodes. Pretty much everything I give away is for free. But if you want to lock up big, fat, juicy deals in your market, you got to check out the No Limit Sales System. It's embarrassingly reasonably priced. Check out nolimitsalessystem.com. It's going to teach you how to talk to sellers, negotiate bigger deals. It's going to help you compress that timeline so you can lock up deals faster. It's going to help you enjoy sales and acquisition and absolutely obliterate your fear of rejection and get your mindset so that you can expect more of yourself. So check that out, nolimitsalessystem.com. And remember, go deep, deep, deep in your market, go hyper local, and I will talk to you on the next episode.